All right, welcome back to yet another episode. As you can see, I am putting together the RSI SMARTCAP canopy for the back of the Chev. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes together. Videos that I've seen so far, it goes together pretty easy. So with that, let's unpack the box, more than what that is, and get everything out. So just before we pull it out of the box, let's go and have a quick look and see how well these guys have actually packed it. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so each section here is individually wrapped. You've got your cardboard spaces in between everything. You've even got a box up there. It says SmartCap fitment kit. Read me first. Or open me first. All right, well, we'll do that. We'll get that one out, get all these bits and pieces out, lay them out, and see what we're gonna do next. Okay, so I've had a bit of a look at the instructions and it is pretty bloody easy, to be honest. As far as bolting this sort of thing goes together, well, this sort of thing, the whole canopy goes together, it's really, really easy. So you've got all those little bits of hardware here, which are, these bits. So you've got a nut and a bolt in the back end of it. We got to pull one off before, where was it? Here we go. I'll just put the camera down for a sec, let's see if I can show you. All right, that'll work. Okay, so what the hardware is basically these bits here. So it's like a nut and it's a bolt with a little spacer and a captive nut type of thing. It just holds the bits and pieces together nice and easy, all right? It's only a 10 mil, okay, and you're only going to 5 Newton meters, or I think it was said 3 foot-pound or something like that, so that's not super tight. So whatever you do, don't over-tighten it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get started just doing the roof panel sections first. Then I'll probably go to the front. Oh, phone's ringing, I better get that. Yep, righto, see ya. We're back, all right. Bit of a phone call interlude there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna join that center panel to both of those two side pieces. Then we'll go back through the instructions, check everything, and I believe we're going to be putting that front panel on first after the whole top's done. Then we'll move on to a side, another side, and the back. All right, wish me luck. Here we go. All right, so, He's gonna be tripping over everything here. So let's do things slowly, because the last thing I wanna do is try to put something together too quickly. So what we're doing here, the camera can see or not, oh, there we go, is these little bolts here, okay, they're your 10 mil. They go through this section here, like so, okay, and these are the nuts basically on the other side. So they just go in like so, and you do them up and it holds it all together. Now we're just gonna move along to the next one, which is there, and we'll just move our way nice and slowly down here. We're only gonna do them up loosely, then we'll do the other side, same thing again, do it up loosely, and then we'll get that sort of 5 Newton meters, 3 foot-pound. I mean, I know it's a specific torque setting. My torque wrench is, well, let's just say it's not designed to do stuff that's so light, so I'm just gonna kind of do it up by feel, which can be kind of scary, but we're gonna do it that way anyway. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Well, then we'll start getting to the other sides and yeah, get it all bolted up. I've got some of it already assembled. You can see I've already got the roof panels assembled. They're nice and tight. Then I've also got that front wall section there as well. So what I've done with that, I'm just using the box that it came with to hold it up. I've got the 4 securing points across the top of it, or the bottom, I guess you could say. What I'm going to do now is attempt to put the side piece on. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. Oh, a bit of a flooding going on there. It's no good. Don't want that. And we better sort that one out. Oh, no good. Oh, there we go. All right. So what we've got with that rear piece, also the front piece, and then the side panel there is there's 5 M6 nylock bolts coming through from the roof rack side, and then you've got the flat washers and nylock nuts as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to set the other camera up. I just tried to take this in there before and I think it started to go a bit wavy. So what we're going to do is we'll set the other camera up so that way you can see what we're doing. But it's a bit tricky, to be fair. So if you did have another person, 100% would make life a lot easier. I've got my dog here with me. Not sure he's too good at swinging spanners, but that's all right. We shall persevere. We'll get this done and get this RSI SMARTCAP canopy put together. Oh, look at that. See, it's doing it again. Well, good morning everybody. Yes, we're back. Look, last night I got to a point where my big shed lights, which are awesome, there's big ones up there, 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are awesome, give me heaps and heaps of light. Yeah, I know, I still haven't put all the cladding on the inside of the shed yet. Look, we're getting there, okay, we're getting there. I stopped filming last night because the lights themselves were just, like with the camera, you probably saw a bit of a flicker there going on. It is to do with the camera settings. You can get rid of that flicker by changing the frame rate. However, it can then affect things later on in editing and whatever else. So I figured I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing there and we're going to concentrate on doing it this morning. Now, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's about, I'm going to say 7, maybe 8 degrees. It is a bit fresh. I'm in shorts. I've got a jumper on, we'll be right. So the next step now to continue on with this is putting the rubber D-seal on. So that's it there sitting on the floor. Okay, now each one of the corners here needs to have a little bit of super glue, so we're going to do that. And then obviously you've got the adhesive backed D rubber side of it. So that's going to help to sort of keep it in the spot where it needs to. Once we've got that on, we're going to flip it over. And I'm just going to rest it on the cardboard for now, because the way that I'm going to use, or the way that I'm going to put this onto the back of the ute, or the back of the Chevy, is by utilising the roof racks or the load bars that I've got. So I'll show you those in just a sec, but that's basically how I'm going to utilise the lifting points. I don't know that it's designed for it, so I don't really want to be stuffing around too much with it. By using those, but the canopy itself doesn't weigh a stupid amount, so we should be okay to do that. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'll show you these load bars. Okay, so these are the load bars. As you can see, they've got a bit of a channel in the top there, channel in the bottom underneath. I'm assuming, I haven't taken these off just yet, but I'm assuming that in here is where the fasteners are. That's the height of it above the actual canopy itself. So this will go on top of the canopy. I've got 3 load bars, so we're going to distribute that weight of the rooftop tent nice and evenly. And I'm hoping that we can utilise a couple of straps around here. We'll get 4 of them, so that way we can lift the canopy up. Now again, it's not a lot of weight, so again, not wanting to stuff around with it too much. As long as I can get it up to a point that I can back the Chevy in and basically sit it down on top of the tub, we're laughing. So I've now got the D-rubber all the way around the edge there. So it says to leave a small gap there, being 1/8 of an inch. So for those that don't know, or that sort of struggle with conversion side, 1/4 of an inch, which is double 1/8 of an inch, is about 6.35 mil. So what we're going to do is we'll halve that, so just over 3 mil. All right, so that's what I've kind of, a bit bigger there, but that's all right. Tried to sort of maintain the same gap all the way around. Now, yes, it says to use super glue on the corners just to help the D-rubber settle in and stay where it's meant to. Had a bit of a mishap. It kind of went everywhere before I got it to the canopy, so I figured, look, I'm not going to bother with it. If I need to, I'll just run a thin bead of Sikaflex around those corners or whatever I need to do to make sure that it stays as sealed as possible. But other than that, look, it's all on there all the way around. What I'm going to do is probably leave it for about half an hour. Make sure that it's all pressed in properly all the way around. Okay. And then I'll go to flip it, and we'll flip it over so that it's resting on the cardboard. Okay, so as you can see, I've just put the blue tape in and around all the seals on the top, and just sort of come down the sides just a little bit to there. The reason I didn't go all the way down is, look, if it's going to leak, it'll leak through the top half, the top sections. That's my philosophy anyway. Now look, you do not have to do this. The reason why I have is because this is not going to be a pavement princess, okay? The places that I go, the travel that I've done previously, and the travel that I'm planning to do with this Chevy, look, I don't want to give anything the chance to leak, all right? Even with, you know, penetrations coming from outside the cabin into, you know, so for, you know, dual battery system, the power to that, whatever else, you need to make sure that when you're going through a grommet, you just chuck a little bit of Sikaflex or a bit of sealant around it. So my train of thought is corrugations will find a loose bolt, loose nut, or find a way for something to leak if it's not properly sealed. Therefore, I'm going with chucking a bit of Sikaflex in through these top joins here. There's the vent there. So, you know, look, you need a positive pressure vent there anyway. So what that's actually going to do is help keep dust out. I'm going to seal up whatever I possibly can throughout the tub anyway. But getting back to the canopy, look, again, you do not have to do this. I'm doing it because I know for a fact that I've had leaks before through corrugations and whatever else, where I didn't think dust or water or whatever else was going to get in. Corrugations will find a way for it to get in. It just happens, right? You can do the best you possibly can to minimise it, right? You know, there are canopies and that out there that are 99.99% dust-free, waterproof, or waterproof, whatever. But again, if there's a potential weak point, trust me, corrugations will find it. Okay, so we're at the stage now where I've got to put a strip of foam across the front of the tub. I'll show you that. So that's the foam there that comes in the kit. And where it's going to go, let's get them in the tub here. Where it's going to go is along this piece here. So what I'm thinking, what I'll probably do is I've got some methylated spirits there and a rag. Just going to give that a quick clean up, and then obviously let it evaporate. What it's going to do is going to get rid of any dirt so that the sticky foam's got the best chance possible to stick. And then I think the next step is going to be rigging up the canopy using these couple of slings here. So they're 3 metre by 1 tonne slings. They're just going to come up under here, and here. I'm going to loop it over up and onto the chain block up here. All right, and we're just going to lift it up and slowly drive in underneath. So I'm going to do a test lift first to make sure everything's all fine. Now all the load bars are secured on quite tight. They're in the positions where I need them to be for the rooftop tent. I've given it a bit of a test lift on each corner. Look, the canopy itself doesn't weigh a massive amount. I think it's only about 130 odd kilos. It's a pain in the backside to try and move by yourself, I will say that. So this is not a recommended lifting method by any means for the SmartCap canopy, but I'm going to do it as safely and slowly as possible using the slings and the chain block, and we'll back in underneath it, make sure that everything is where it needs to be, and then slowly sort of drop it onto the tub, move it around. So it could take a bit of jigging. So I'll probably just put the camera on time lapse for that, just in case it takes forever. But other than that, I think we're ready to do that foam across the front over there. Rig this up and get it on the tub. That's the canopy done and dusted. Look at it, bloody awesome. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. I love it, I reckon it's great. Awesome. Let's get on to the next part.